Fire, fire, fire! Only joking. Welcome to Will on Safety. Let me ask you something, okay? If a fire broke out in your business right now, would you know what to do in the next 60 seconds? Would every person in that facility, all right, know what to do, where to go, and how to get there safely? Most business owners would say yes, okay? But when I ask them about their fire detection system, their suppression provisions, their emergency lighting, and their signage, most of them go very, very quiet. Okay, because having an extinguisher in the corner is not a fire protection system, okay? Under the Regulatory Reform Fire Safety Order of 2005, UK law requires considerably more than that. I'm William Wright from Will on Safety. Okay, in this video, I'm going to walk you through every essential fire protection system your business needs to understand and what the law actually requires you to do. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, fire detection systems. Let's start with the first line of defense, fire detection. Okay, a fire detection system is exactly what it sounds like. It detects the presence of fire or the conditions that indicate a fire. Okay, it triggers a response. In the UK, there are several types, and understanding the difference, it really does matter. First one then, heat detectors. These effectively respond to a rise in temperature above the threshold. They're reliable in environments where smoke is present as part of normal operations. Kitchens, garages, workshops, for example, they are less sensitive and respond more slowly than smoke detectors, which means they're not suitable as the sole detection methodology in most workplaces. Okay, smoke detectors next. These are the most common type found in UK commercial premises. They detect particles of combustion, so smoke, and trigger an alarm before the fire takes full hold. There are two main types. You've got ionization detectors. They're more sensitive to fast flaming fires. They're common in office environments. And then you've got optical detectors. They're more sensitive to slow smouldering fires. They're better suited to areas where soft furnishings or paper-based materials are present. Okay, you've also got multi-sensor detectors. These combine heat and optical detection and are increasingly common in modern commercial installations. They reduce false alarms whilst maintaining sensitivity. Okay, next up, carbon monoxide detectors. So while primarily it's a health and safety tool, CO detectors are increasingly integrated into fire detection systems, particularly where combustion appliances are also present. So under the Regulatory Reform Fire Safety Order of 2005, your fire risk assessment must identify the appropriate detection method for your specific premises. All right, there is no one size fits all answer to this question. It does depend on your building layout, the activities carried out within that building, the number of people present, okay, and the fire load, managing the amount of combustibles on site. If you don't have a current fire risk assessment that specifies your detection requirements, That is your starting point. Get one of those done, okay? Okay, let's talk about fire alarm systems then. Detection finds the fire. The alarm system tells people about it, okay? Because it's no good having a system that doesn't alert people to what's going on. Okay, in UK fire alarm systems, they're categorised under BS 5839. The categories that matter most for commercial premises are the following. Category L systems. These are life protection systems, okay? They're designed to give early warning to allow safe evacuation. These are the systems most common in commercial premises. Category P systems. These are property protection systems designed to alert the fire services as early as possible to minimise the amount of damage. Then we've got Category M systems. These are manual systems only. So these rely entirely on somebody discovering a fire and activating a call point. In most commercial premises, a manual only operation system is insufficient under current UK legislation. So for most small businesses, the requirement is for an L2 or an L3 system, which means, okay, automatic detection, covering escape routes and high-risk areas connected to the manual call points at exit. Okay, there are a few key legal points. Your alarm must be audible throughout the entire premises, including any areas where background noise may well be significant. Call points. So the red break glass units must be positioned no more than 45 metres away from any point in the building. Okay, your system must be tested weekly. A brief activation of one call point on a rotationary basis. Okay, and a full annual service must be carried out by a competent person. Records of all testing and servicing must be maintained in your fire safety book. And if you don't have a fire safety logbook, get one this week. It is a legal document. Let's talk around fire suppression systems now then. Okay, detection and alarms gives you some time. Suppression systems fight the fire. Most small business owners think suppression means a fire extinguisher by the door, okay? And while extinguishers are important, and we covered those in our fire classification video, suppression systems go considerably further, okay? Portable fire extinguishers, they're required in all UK businesses under the fire safety order. The type, the number and location must be specified, okay, in your fire risk assessment based on the fire risks that are currently present. The most common types are water, okay, utilised for Class A fires involving solid materials. CO2, they are for electrical and Class B liquid fires. Next up, we've got foam. They're for Class A and B fires. Dry powder next for Class D fires, okay? So metal fires and some specialist applications. And then we've got wet chemicals, specifically for Class F fires, so cooking oil fires, essential for any commercial kitchen. All extinguishers must be serviced on an annual basis by a competent person and must have a current service label attached. Automatic suppression systems, These activate without any human intervention whatsoever when a fire is detected. Let's get into those. Sprinkler systems are the most common automatic suppression system. Under approved document B of the building regulations, sprinklers are now required in new residential buildings above 11 metres in England and in Wales. Okay, for commercial premises, the requirement depends on the building type, size and use. Okay, high-rise offices, large warehouses and certain public buildings will require some form of sprinklers. Next up, gaseous suppression systems. So they're things like CO2, FM200 or Novex systems, okay? And they're used in specialist environments where water would cause damage. Server rooms, archive stores and certain industrial processes should utilise those systems. The key point for business owners is this: your fire risk assessment must assess whether your current suppression provisions are adequate for your specific fire risk. If your building has changed, if your stock or processes have changed, or if your risk assessment is more than 12 months old, it needs a review. You need to make sure you're doing those annual reviews. Okay, next up, emergency lighting. Okay, this is the one that catches most businesses out, right? Emergency lighting. Under the Regulatory Reform Fire Safety Order 2005 and British Standard 5266, all non-domestic premises must have adequate emergency escape lighting. That means lighting that activates automatically when normal power supply fails, so that escape routes remain illuminated should the need to evacuate arise. Okay. Emergency lighting must be provided along all escape routes, at all change of direction, at all exits and fire exits, at stairwells. Each flight must receive direct light, at fire alarm call points, at firefighting equipment locations, and at first aid points. The duration is a minimum of 1 hour, meaning the emergency lighting must remain operational for at least 1 hour after activation. In higher risk premises, though, this increases to 3 hours. Okay, monthly testing is a legal requirement. So this is a function test. Okay, a brief functional test of each fitting. Annual testing must include a full rated duration discharge test. So that's a battery discharge test. Okay, meaning the lights are to run for their full rated duration to verify that battery health. Okay, all tests must be documented. This really is genuinely the most common missed compliance requirement I find when I go round and I audit premises. Business owners install emergency lighting systems, it gets forgotten, the batteries degrade, and during an actual power failure, the lights go out. They just don't work, okay? So they're about as much use as a chocolate fire guard. Check your emergency lighting logbook, okay? If you don't have one, that is your initial compliance gap right there. Okay, next, fire safety signage. Signs sound simple, right? But fire safety signage is a legal requirement with specific standards that many businesses just get wrong, in all honesty. Under the Health and Safety Signs and Signals Regs 1996 and the Fire Safety Order, fire signs must comply with specific requirements. So fire exit signs, they've got to be green and white, using the running man symbol with directional arrows, okay? They must be placed at all fire exits and at decision points along escape routes. Anywhere someone might be unsure of which direction to go, they've got to be illuminated, either internally or externally lit and visible in all lighting conditions, including low lighting. Okay, a common mistake I see. Businesses using old style green signs that say fire exit. These do not comply with current UK requirements. The running man symbol is mandatory. Fire action notices, so they must be displayed at each fire alarm call point and key locations throughout the premises. They must show what to do on discovering a fire, what to do on hearing the alarm, the assembly point locations and key contact information. Okay, there are some fire equipment regulations. Fire equipment signs, should I say. So red signs indicate the location of extinguishers, hose reels and other firefighting equipment. These must be posted at each piece of equipment. No smoking signs, okay, are required at entrances to enclosed workplaces under the Health Act 2006. All signs must be in good condition, clean, undamaged and clearly visible. Signage obscured by stock, furniture or decoration is a compliance failure. Okay. Next up, we're going to discuss the responsible person. Okay. Everything I've covered today sits under one legal concept, the responsible person. So under the Regulatory Reform Fire Safety Order 2005, every non-domestic premises must have a designated responsible person. This is the employer, the owner, the person who has control of the premises. In a small business, that is almost certainly you. Okay. As the responsible person, you are legally required to carry out and arrange suitable and sufficient fire risk assessment, implement and maintain appropriate fire precautions, provide staff training on fire safety, keep records of your fire risk assessments, testing and maintenance, review your fire risk assessment regularly and whenever significant changes may occur. Failure to comply with the fire safety order is a criminal offence. The consequences range from enforcement notices and improvements through to unlimited fines and imprisonment in the most serious of cases. The responsible person is not a role you can ignore or delegate away without proper oversight. If you employ somebody who manages fire safety on your behalf, you are still legally accountable, okay, for ensuring they're competent to do that job. So let me bring this together into your immediate action list, okay? This week, locate your fire risk assessments. If it's been more than 12 months or anything's changed in your premises, arrange that review. Check your fire safety logbook. Verify, okay, that weekly alarm tests, monthly emergency lighting tests and annual servicing are all recorded and they're up to date. Walk your escape routes. Check all emergency lighting is present, operational, and all fire exit signs are compliant running man format. Okay, and that no exits or escape routes are obstructed. Check your extinguishers, have current service labels and are at specified locations. If any of those checks do reveal a gap, okay, that's a compliance issue that needs addressing right now. Not next week, next month, next year, but now, okay? My name is Will. My company is Will on Safety. If you'd like help carrying out a fire risk assessment or a compliance review for your business anywhere in North Yorkshire and beyond, okay, I've included a free link to my website for an initial consultation. I've put it in the link below. There's also links to some of my other fire training videos. Okay, subscribe to this channel for weekly EHS guidance made simple, and I'll see you in the next one. But remember, stay safe by choice and not by chance. Take care. Bye for now.